Hi guys, I'm really early today, I do realise that, but there is a reason. I'm trying to sort out and find the issues that are causing me not to be seen by people, so I'm going to leave it running live to see how we go on. I've left that live at noon so people can see, so that people can check in and check out and check in and check out. So people have been looking to try and find me, so I've changed all my settings. Hopefully people want to see that they can check it out. So I will just get ready now, but leave your line open, ready. I'll probably turn the sound down because I'm sure you don't want to hear me. Oh, that's not sound. Turn it off, and I turn the. Oh, I don't know whether that'll work. Excuse me. Oh, that's interesting. Ah. Hmm. Camera. No. I'm hoping that this has sorted out the issues for people. I hope the lovely Rachel Harris is having a good day as well today. It's her birthday. I can't wait to do my next project. It's brilliant. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I spent hours doing it. I'll show you that as well, what I did on telly last night. I thought it was quite pretty. Not brilliant, but when you put it in a frame, do you know what I mean? It's quite nice, isn't it? Just simple, simple, simple. So I'm going to quickly get ready because I've got to sort my head out. I won't be a minute. It's got to be perfect. It's got to be worth it. Too many people take second best, but I won't take anything less. It's got to be, yeah, perfect. It's got to be perfect. Let's stop singing because they'll ban me from singing. Come on then, get your ass together. What have you got to do? No, I want to get something good together. I'm not in the mood. To be perfect. Too many people take second place, but I won't take anything less. Crap. Pop, pop, pop. I'm hoping that people can actually find me. I'm hoping and hope. Excuse me. Excuse moi. Alexa, play traditional Chinese music, please, for relaxation.
Traditional Chinese music by Chinese Music on Amazon Music.
Alexa, stop. Alexa, play traditional Chinese music. Alexa, stop. Alexa, play traditional Chinese music.
Playing traditional Chinese.
Not you! Ah, for crying out loud. Alexa, stop. Stop. Alexa, play traditional Chinese music.
Playing traditional Chinese music on Amazon Music. Amazon Music is streaming on another device. Would you like to stream your living room instead?
Yes. Yes, Alexa. Such an arsehole, that. Excuse me, that's not a very nice sound. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I don't know whether or not to do that. I don't know. Too hot. Hot, cold, whoa. Oh, give me a minute, what's going on with me today? Oh, I know what I've got to do. I've got to do the thingy, haven't I? Oh, I forgot about that. That's cool. I get to do some nice musings. That's not what. That's not what. Oh, there it is. Right. I'm not actually starting yet. Hopefully yeah, it's not windy here, it's wet. One side's very bleak, the other side's very light there, so it's got a strange atmosphere. It's sort of light and dark. Yeah, this is a really simple one I did yesterday, so and it was only £1, this frame from the range. And I just thought, you get your stamp on that, bit of watercolour on it, you know, it's a nice gift, isn't it? I'm not actually going to be doing that today though. I left the stuff out from last night, because I've got no living room left. And then I'm going to do some swatches for my class, for the new class. Thank you. I can't believe it's gone live and there's like so many people who've decided that they want to try it. So yeah, the harmonies is all about creating harmony within colour. So that's what I will be doing, creating harmony within colour. Not so much, it's going to be a paid class, so there is a big difference. There's some really nice beautiful designs that I like, shapes, patterns, and today I liked what I did with the words, but I don't want it to be based just on my words today. So first of all, yeah, well, I still love what I do like that. I'm just that's annoying me now, so I'll have to get rid of it. I took this out of a book, so hence you've got a wire bit here, but sometimes the book just gets in the way. I do like that though, that's great to keep. And being a crafter, we have to keep it all, don't we? Sometimes I like squares. Oh, what happened then? Again, I've got an event tomorrow. If you'd like to join us, I'll put the link up. It's an event I've got with a Dutch company. I'm doing a live 6 o'clock in the UK, 7 o'clock in Holland, in their group. If you would like to join them, I will send you a link, and the link is to join their group. And although you may not think, well, I can't speak Dutch, it doesn't really matter, because what you can do, if you wish, is just see, because they sell the collection, so you'll be able to see what, you know, what other people do with the collections. Now, I'm not too sure whether I want to so I'm just going to check it out and see, do I want that like that? You see, I prefer to work with squares, but it doesn't really matter. Oh, I like that. I like that, having that as a book. And having a punch through. Some of the things I had yesterday on the show, like this here, I did some little bits and bobs, and I just really loved them. And I think these should be, you know, should go in my little box, because I made them and I really like them. Like, let me show you. Just oh, it's 12 o'clock now, but it doesn't matter. So yeah, I've got like little tags and little holders, look. And then you can slip your pictures in, and little tags there, and little pockets, little tags. These go in here. And I sat down and did them yesterday, and it made me realise how much I actually liked them. So these are from the tags yesterday. I'm going to do a few of these actually, because I think it'd be good to do a whole video on how to make these for the people who've bought them. So that's what I'm going to do a video on. Hopefully I'll try and do a live today for it. If not, I'll film it and then put it on the group, so that if you have bought these, any of these, you know, you can see what we do. Especially that. Is this out of focus? No, it looks all right there. It's out of focus when it comes near. Here's another one I painted. I didn't paint them very well last night because it was just to show you the little effects. So this would be a cool background. But anyway, let's get back, because I've got all these as well. I love these. I'm going to make a proper spool out of them. I think that's cool. I think it's quite nice to just sit down and make something, isn't it, without having to sort of... Sounds a bit sad saying it like this. Oh, here's another one. Without having to sort of mess about and put the tabs on anywhere, look. They just fit everything. I think they're really cool. Yeah, without working. You know, you just sit there and I don't have to think, you don't have to think. It's a bit mucky this, I'm sorry, but I'm not changing it because I'm not wasting paper. I don't mean that in a derogatory way. But yeah, so I've got a nice square there. So it's up to me what I choose to use. Do I want to fold it over and create like a journal? Or should I just use one of these? I think I might just use one of these. I'll stop mithering. But I want to show you some of the great, it's a bit smaller in it, the great sort of harmonies in colour. Colour harmonies are amazing, and I'm going to be doing this video at some point today. I got some meetings though, and I'm going to be putting like blues together and greens together, and what yellows go with what blues, and then I'm going to physically do it so that I'll have a swatch book, and I might use this size so that I've got a full. Now the other thing I've got is a roly decks thing. That's great because you can, oh, excuse me, I've just dropped off the table. Well, not off the table. A Rolodex, so that what I can do is show the colours and then put the colours on my roly thing and see what colour goes with what. So, and there's some dyes in the group. I think some of them in the group for that. Now, Oh, I like this. I can alter my life by altering my attitude. He who would have nothing to do with thorns must never attempt to gather flowers. I think that's very true. Here's one for before you colour. Oh, we'll do that. It's got to be done. Right, okay, got design and an idea. What? Self-compassion, right? Self-compassion. So I'm going to use the big one. I'm going for it today now. I really like this. Now, I am not in any way, shape or form a doctor. Never have been. And I doubt at this point in my life whether I will be. But what I do have is a really positive sort of attitude towards it. I really feel it's an important part of your life. I think it's an important way to be. I think it's an important at any age, but more so now I've got older, I feel that I need to understand me a little bit more. And by understanding me, I'm understanding what other people see and why they see it. Because you get people who are generally great at everything and they never have a bad thing done to them. Or you get people who seem to have everything happening to them, and it's like no matter what they do or how they do it, people tend to upset them or hurt them or whatever. And whatever category you fall into, it's so important to know why. But not why so that you can dwell on it, but why so you can change it, or basically work within the premise of why and then do it accordingly. So I'm looking, if I keep going on cold, I'm really sorry, but it's kicked in badly today, so I'm feeling it. So if I just go a bit squiffy, bear with me, I'll be back in a bit. So I'm using my circumference. So I'm just looking at that and that. Might make it right. So I'm just drawing a centerpiece. This is you. This is you. And these are your layers. Now that don't look right, does it? But who said right was right? Oh, I know where. Look at that. There we go. So if I do that there, that's perfect now. See? There's always a way, isn't there? Always. Well, I like that better. So this is you. Cut that off if you want. But we're going to grow from this. Now you can put anything you want in here. A picture, anything you want. But this is basically us. So we're going to try and do a few little exercises. I am not a therapist. I have never ever said I am. But what I am going to do is just show you some little techniques that help you to de-stress when you are drawing. And it's things that I've tried. It's things that I've trained with. Only to the point of modular elements of CBT and stuff. So I can't say I'm a trained therapist at all, which I wouldn't. But I'm going to see if some of these little things that I do. See, it's annoying me this, so I'll have to take it off. Some of these things I do. Yeah, but if I add that to it, I can actually. No, I'm taking it off, it's annoying me. Right, okay. So this is my world, or your world, or whoever's world. This is us in here. Excuse the scruffy top, but I'm not getting. I get dressed up for TV, but I'm not doing it now. So, my inner circle, my inner sanctum, whatever you want to call it. I know it's heavier on one side or the other, but I don't particularly care. But what we're going to do now is some freehand, okay? So the first thing I want you to do Right, Pam Green wants to comment. I can't accept everybody's friendship. I'm really sorry, because I'm nearly on 5,000 and I get about 200 or 300 a day. So if people can't comment, I really am apologetic for that, but I'm working on that on the YouTube channel, so I'm hoping that that'll be helpful there. But yeah, I do know you're there. I've changed it today, so hopefully more people can see. I've changed the settings so that it's now public in one area and not others. So I hope that's sort of helping, but I can't sort of friend everybody, because it just means I'm friending for the friend's sake, and you know, and it's just crazy, so I can't. So if somebody wants to, maybe they can send me a message and I can do it privately, but I'm not going to go too mad like that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want you to put your feet on the floor if you can. If not, just I want you to sort of use your hands first. So what we're going to do is, my hands are bad at the moment, but don't worry, yours might be bad. What I want you to do is just rest them anywhere you want. Okay? And listen to the directions while I'm counting. I want you to take your hands and I want you to, as tight as you can, 1, 2, 3, and let go. Relax. You will have felt your shoulders go up, your elbows come up, everything, even your tailbone go up. I want you to do it again. This time I want you to feel and make sure your shoulders don't come up. So just your hands are tight. So we're going to do it in 1, 2, 3. Shoulders down, shoulders down. Press your shoulders back, down. Just your hands. 2, 3. Even my back was tight then. I want you to do it again, and I want you to screw your shoulders up, your back. I want you to screw everything up tight. We'll do it after the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, all I'm doing for that is just allowing you to feel the difference between very tight and loose, so that you're aware that when your shoulders come up, your back goes down, that you are tensing, and you need to bring your shoulders down, put your feet on the floor. It's a real simple way of just assessing how tense you are, because you can't possibly be comfortable if your body is that tense. Okay? So, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to put my feet on the floor. You can hear them probably. Wiggle my toes. This time I'm going to try and breathe with it. So this time we're going to try, if you have to let everything tense up, tense it all up, but we'll do it to counting, okay? So we're going to tense in 3. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And next time, now we're going to do it with breathing. As you breathe in, you tighten up. So breathe in, tighten up. You ready? After 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Feel the difference? You feel the difference? So now you know that when your hands like this on the table, Even if your hand is like that permanently, you'll know the difference between you pushing it down, if you can, or when it's released. Even I can feel that there, when I've got my hands closed. I know the difference between that and that. Be it very slight, I can do it. So remember, when you're tensing up, you're not going to be drawing. You're going to be drawing very, how can I put it, stoically. So we want to sort of rid that and get everything out on here. So I'm hoping that makes sense. So I've just showed you the exercises that I use. I've already felt my shoulders come up, so I've put my elbows on the table to relax my shoulders down. Right, and I'm letting my hands just flop. The only thing really, and remember when you're drawing, writing, drawing, writing, shading, drawing, writing, shading. Just a little thing like that, and wiggle your fingers. It just helps, it really does help. Alexa, level 1. Right, so I've drawn 2 circles. Reflective inner circle can be whatever you want. Outer circle can be whoever your outer circle. I'm not claiming to be a therapist, I keep saying that. So next thing I'm going to do, we're going to build up a wonderful collage around this of the things that perhaps favourite shapes. Well, yoga is a very big part. I used to do it for years, but I couldn't do it in the end because I've got hypermobility in certain areas. So bending my back is not a good idea when I can touch the floor with my elbows, sort of thing. I can't get down with my elbows anymore, but I can get way past my wrists. So it's not good, a bit too flexible. So here I'm drawing, it's like pointers north and south. This is like a training session in its own right. And I like the idea of extending it out. So I love this shape. I don't want it to be a focal point, and what I don't want to do is I don't want it to be too formulaic. So yeah, I'm going to do this because this is like really important, north, south, east and west. It's like your points of reference, it's your points of deference, it's wherever you want, it's whatever you feel that you need. Now, I do like this, but I'm going to get a little bit more. And after each one, I'm just going to do the same shape. And I would advise you all to do that systematically. Don't try and draw one before the other. You can if you want, but I think you lose the spontaneity. So I'm drawing one, moving on. Admittedly, it looks like a pair of hoodies, but who cares? Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. So now what I've got like this wonderful sort of mandala at start mandala, and I'm going to bring this pattern in here. Now normally when you're drawing a mandala, what you would do is draw one half and trace. You see, that's massive, so just take it off. So you draw one mandala and you just trace. So, you know, this is how you can start a freehand one. It doesn't have to be perfect. No one wants it to be perfect because it's too much pressure on yourself. So I'm going to start drawing a little bit more in pen so that you are able to see this, because I am pretty certain at the moment it's quite difficult for you to see. So all my pens seem to be 0.05s or 0.2s or 0.1s. I haven't got a clue why. Oh, I know why. I've run out. I've run out of the things. Now I'm going to have to use this drawing pen, which is a 0.7, so we'll see what this looks like. Okay, so I'm going to have to be careful. So I'm not liking using that because it's going to run. Right, okay. So I'm using a 1. I'm hoping that you're going to see this. So I'm taking my time. My shoulders have come up. Press down. Right, now I can prove. See it? That is where my shoulders went down. So there's a huge difference. So Even if you have to put your shoulders on the table and lean forward, do it. Support your body. Concentrate on each shape, be in the present for that shape. I can show you now where I wasn't. Can you see? That one is, that one isn't. So obviously I'm not focused on that present because I'm trying to think about what I've already done, and I don't want to do that. I want to think about what I need to do for that actual thing. So that's miles better. If you look at the difference between the background and the foreground, you can see there's more of a, there's more, it looks better. So here, now look at that. Shoulders went straight up then. I've got to bring them down. It's a tear shape. It fits the shape. It fits the shape that's there. It can be bigger or smaller. Doesn't matter. If you're happy with it, that's fine. That's all you need. Okay, I'm really liking that. So we've got start of our mandala. We've got our north, south, east and west, okay? We've got our major family. We've got our main person that we care about, or issue, or anything that you choose to put in that circle. It reflects your feelings or whatever, if you wish it to. If you just want to draw, that's just perfect as well. And in these, I'm going to introduce this shape, which is similar to the outside shape. I'm just putting it in between. So we now have got this nice shape of mandala. The internet course. Oh right, I've not put that out yet because I only did it yesterday. I'm hoping to get, I do one every month. I'm hoping to do a couple a month. So it'll probably be April now. What I'm going to do is, just while I have this time, but the colour harmonies, I can show you some pictures, but they're not my pictures, but it's what we'll be working on. So we'll be working on images like, I can try and show you just so that we don't, I don't want to get into trouble at the moment because I can't release the images yet, because I've not done them properly, but I can show you what we're going to be doing. It's going to be right, okay, you know when you get images like that, how do you know all those colours go together? Well, I will show you how to mix them, and we'll do each colour like that, so I know which colour to mix with that and how it mixes. So in my sketchbook, this is what I've done in my sketchbook and stuff, so I will show you how to do it, and then we'll do it together. So that's what my colour harmony is about, just in case people didn't know. Right, okay, so we've got this part now, happy with that. Now what I'm going to do now is just look at the shapes. There it is. Now, I'm going to draw here. A circle like that. Let's see, I'm just checking that out now. So what I'm going to do now is just look at the shape around it. That's it. You might see a bit there. I want to draw something quite beautiful in pattern shape sort of thing. So the basic bundle or around there is going to be really full. I can fill these with words, I can fill anything with words, but this is going to be it's for me, it's going to be filled with beautiful patterns and things that, as I'm drawing, I'm not thinking about anything else. Well, I have to, but I'm in such a mood now that I can think about what I'm doing here and what I'm doing with you together, and it's actually relaxing me. It's not scaring me or making me think, oh, I can't do that. I'm actually really enjoying it, so I am relaxed. Now, you can only do that when you understand what it feels like to be tense. Once you feel, that's why I showed you, once you feel tense, you can drop your shoulders down and start to feel a little bit more relaxed. It might take you time to do it, but that's fine. So in the middle of these, I'm just putting my 3 little bumps because I didn't know what to do, so it's almost like a safety measure. There we go. I'm happy with that. So I've got a nice flower happening there if I wish it to be a flower. If I don't have to. Here I'm just going to do like a pie sort of zigzag thing. Don't know what that is. So Carol, I tend to use watercolour paper, or a mixed media paper, and the mixed media paper usually is good enough to watercolour on, if that makes sense, because otherwise it does get a little bit but I understand how expensive that can get, so sometimes just having a good mixed media paper is just enough. If you're not going to use certain things on it, then you don't need watercolour paper. Just going to enlarge these, and this then reflects the patterns and shapes we've got here. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to do some patterns in here. I think I'm just going to do that. And then another one. Like that. Very simple patterns, nothing difficult about it. What I want you to do though is I want you to just focus on the drawing at the moment. Just focus on this. Don't be tempted away. So I'm just doing some random shapes around the side. And if you make a cod wallet, that's fine. Use it as a learning point. Now I don't actually like that shape there, but I suppose with some good old circles, that's better. So in this lovely heart here, change the shape. It's not me to normally draw a heart, but I just thought that looks quite nice as a heart. So let's see, can we fill it? Yeah, I'll try it that way. There we go. So I'm changing it round now. So I'm doing done it the other way, but never mind. Actually, doesn't matter. I quite like them both ways. So right, we've got the heart there. We've got that there. Let's look at some more patterning. So yeah, I'm just going to go with it. So in each section I've drawn another line around. So I've chosen to do these very similar, so that although they're not going to be exactly the same, they do look similar, regardless of the size and shape that they're obviously getting smaller and smaller. But I don't care, it doesn't matter to me. So I've done that now, actually fits quite well. So I've got that pattern in. I'll have to choose now which patterning I want to do. So here we've got this almost like a vein pattern. I'm going to go quickly around all of them because I want to fill the whole space. If I don't answer you guys, it's not, I'm not being rude, it's just that I need to focus on this, and I can't focus on talk because it just changes it all for me. So I don't tend to focus. See, I'm trying to make that fit that now. Yeah, so I won't answer questions. I don't really get into discussions with people, because if you're doing that, then you can't, well, I can't concentrate on the drawing as well, so don't answer. But if there is a question and you want me to answer, then I will by all means answer it later. Right, okay, so I've got some really sort of simple patterns going on, and they are simple, very simplistic. I don't want anything more in them. So I'm looking at what I've got. These are really rudimentary, but cool. Don't like them, I like them. So in this pattern and shape, I'm just going to go, so this is the one with the veining on. I'm not, no rhyme or reason, just the little round bubbles. Okay, so now with this one, let's think what I did. Oh yeah, this one is to really get the benefit of these sessions. To really get the benefit of these sessions, it's best to either follow along in silence, your silence, and just watch, or watch it another time so that you can really concentrate, and then that way you're going to get the full impact of it. There we go. Now that one at the top or the bottom. So I've got the main gist of it now, the patterning. So you've got the main gist, and we can fill it up now with some shapes. See, just there. Now this paint is running out as well. I might just put colour in that one, and then here. Let's see what else we can do. I'm just looking at patterns and filling shapes now. So here, Just trying to work things out. Oh no, that's what I've not done. Thought so. There we go, that makes more sense. I wondered why I had such wide gaps there, or, you know, gaps without patterning, but now I know. So that is that one. I'll have to put that there just to make it look like it's, there we go. I knew there was something wrong about that. I was looking at it thinking, that's not right. Now I get it. Now I get why. And I'm just drawing another big circle, ignoring the ones on the inside. I'm going to draw a smaller one in the middle, like that. There we go. So we've got a nice flower there, straight flower there. So we'll have maybe a round one here. I'm not really judging much now. I'm just going for it. Sometimes when you get a pattern and you really like the pattern, you think, right, yeah, I'm going for that. Do I want that in a flower? I think I might. So this one is like a heart. Oh, I like that, yeah. So we've got like lots of flowers, and we've got this one which I need another one, which will be fine. So I'll put another one over here somewhere just to, or here, just to counteract it or weight it. I'll make these a little bit smaller. This is what I love about the moodling. It's just different every time. You start with this idea, and this idea suddenly becomes something else. But the overall impact of it is the same. I'm just going to do another circle. I think we need one in there. There we go, that's better. So I want another big one here that's got probably impact like that one. And we've got this pattern happening, and then doesn't have to be exactly the same, it just looks to have some sort of resemblance of it. So it might not be exactly like that, but that doesn't really matter. What matters is it's similar. And the intensity of pattern is similar, so that intensity is similar to that, and it outweighs this. So yeah, so now I'm just going to put in, let's see, another shape there to fill it up, and then in this one we'll have so here I'm just putting like a bubble on the outside, and that pattern building it up so that we've got So I might add some of these around it. Okay. So just adding these around it to appear like a pattern forming around it, which doesn't have to be too sort of specific there, but it just looks like it's filling the space and belonging to it. Some things you can't plan for, so you have to just sort of think, right, well, hopefully so here we've got some shapes adding up here. Quite like the idea of some more big flowers over here. Something nice about flowers and spring, and the idea that okay, so there we go. We've got flowers. Fit another one in here. I'm just fitting pattern in there now, just like little patterns, so they may not all resemble exactly each other on each side, but we're getting a sort of a pattern being generated. So I'm tensing up again. I just heard myself sigh and I felt my shoulders really high. So yeah, helps to know when you're tense. And the only way to know that is when you're not tense. Now all I'm doing is I am moodling around it now. Just to draw some patterns outwards. So remember, your shoulders might be coming up now. If that's the case, relax, ease the tension. I'm making a random pattern on the edge of the page to fill the space, so you can just see here. So we've got lots of pattern happening. We've got major patterns. You can fill in between now with in out patterns, so whichever patterns you feel like there. I've drawn another one, but it's circular. Draw another one over here just to There we go. So we've got like patterns. I love it when I just sort of start to draw random patterns like this, because they are all here. It's just that I'm just taking it one step further and filling gaps. And this is really relaxing for me. It's like a proper collage, doodle, moodle, whatever. So now it's starting to fill up with patterns. So we've got one here. Don't like to leave it on and off, so if there's a pattern I can just bring in by the use of smaller patterns, then I will do. So you fill it with all your big patterns first, and then by the end of it what you'll actually have is room for all your smaller patterns then. So I'm just going to go for it, big ones here. Now it's really strange, the weather here. It's light and dark. It's a bit like anything, isn't it? It's dependent on the weather, your moods and stuff. So I think this is quite apt really, because it's like, I don't know what's the word, it's very reflective. And I would love at some point to do this on fabric, which I will do, which I have done. I'm going to do the Moodle bag with pentel. Pentel? Don't have pentel. Pentel. And do it on fabric. It'll look stunning. See here, I've got the choice of creating another one here or just doing some large circles. And I think personally I'll do a couple. Do this one. Enough there. Keep this on while I'm doing these, and then I don't tend to go off the that looks a bit weird, so I'll draw the circle. That's better. So, and then in here draw your little dots, like little stitches, or French knots. A great one. French knots, you know, you'd had all your French knots up in here and you'd be like, Bob's your uncle. So I'm going to draw another one here. I'm going to do it a little bit different. Now this is one, for me, this is one for your pens, your colouring pens, your pencils, because it's quite a intricate one. You might want to use, you know, it's always easier to use your pens or something like a fine brush so that you can get into all this pattern. It is very much a collage of pattern now. So if we look at over it now, these edges are nearly done. What we do need to do is make sure these little circles are represented within the pattern itself, so it doesn't just look like it's all stuck on. So you might want to sort of look at the centre part of these and just put your little bits and bobs on it like that, and then that way you bring in the two in, but you've still got your areas of I've already got one left. Shoulders up again, I can feel it. I'm going to do a smaller flower now, and what I'm going to do is just in between each one I'm going to do another layer. So where it would come down, this is how I draw my stamps sometimes. You sort of soldier bond it. There we go. So we've got that nice pattern there. So you can see we've filled the whole space everywhere with pattern. Everywhere we've got some big spaces, some little spaces. Some like this here are heavily patterned, will remain without undue colour in it. It'll just be like smaller patterns within it. So I'm really happy with that. We've got a full right, okay, so it's these double lines here are annoying me in the sense of I need to do something. So there's a double line just there, and I'm just going to put a bobble in that one. Can I just interrupt here? And just bring attention to something. When I do this, I do it because I feel this is, for me, a place I want to come. And this isn't having a dig at anybody, I'm just saying I've been thinking about why I do this. And I come to this room and I make this room and I do this live to forget about all the crap going on in my life. So I forget about why I can't get up in the morning that well, why I can't do what I want to do. Because if not, it has complete control over everything I do every day, all day. So I was asked, why do I do this? And that's the answer. The answer is, I come here, I don't want to talk about it. I might mention it, but I don't want to talk about all the other negative things. This is about me and what I can do now. And I think once you get that in your head, whilst it's really good to talk to people, also remember, and this is for everybody, and I've learnt this the hard way, when you're talking about something, there might be someone out there who doesn't want to talk about it, but what you're saying triggers them, or it could be a trigger for them. So I've learnt my lesson, and I just want to remind people that sometimes, you know, just think, whilst it might not be a trigger for you, I've learnt my lesson that it can trigger others, and we don't want that. We don't want that. We're here, we're happy for our time in this room together, and we're going to be creative and wonderful, supportive people. And I think that's the answer. I hope that's answered the question to a few people. So it's not about what I can't do, it's about what I can do. Because it's not defining me. I'm not fibro, whatever, all that. And my name's Louise. It's like I'm Louise and I happen to have, so it doesn't define me, and I don't want it to. It's controlling too much of my life. So I'm suggesting if perhaps other people feel like it might be a place to let go in this room. So I don't know if anyone else feels like that. Anyway, but that's just a personal observation about why I do it, and I think it's really important to be aware of other people's triggers, not to the point where you take them on, no, but by listening to them and understanding them, that's great, but you can't take theirs on. You can only be there for people. You can't take it with you, or their worries. So we can only do what we can do in lightened situation and hope that it's not triggering. So what I've done here is self-compassion. I want you to think of this. There's something. I'm not going to do that one today. Right, I want you to just think of this one. When a painful or even a pleasant feeling arises, okay, the truth is it's there. Any resistance, trying to control, wishing it away with thoughts or fighting that feeling in any way only causes more suffering to arise. And that's by the Venerable Vilamarasa. So think about it. Acknowledge it. It's like the niggly kid. Mum, 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 mum. It's there. Acknowledge it. We can't always deal with it, but we can think, right, it's there. But once you acknowledge it, all those fighting feelings tend to be a lot easier to deal with. Now, I have got these colours here, which I forgot about. I've got these colours. I've got these colours. I've got metallics. I've been quite careful the last few days with the way I've been colouring. Careful's not the right word. Why did I choose careful? I think maybe it is. Sometimes you could have a Freudian slip, can't you, where a word you use is like, well, why did I say that word? Well, maybe I needed to say that word. Maybe that was the word that sums it up. So, anyway, regardless of that, these are the Viviva. I've been using these for years now. This is a brand new one. Believe it or not, I used one already. And these are stunning because they're like dyes, pure dyes. But you do need to think that this is quite an intense patterning. Anything that's got the big circles in, I'm not going to worry about because that's going to be in the background. So you make your choices: watercolours, dyes, ink, sprays, whatever you choose. Give them a spray, wake them up. Have we got enough time? Oh yeah, look at that, 1 o'clock. So give the paints a bit of a wake up call. Give these a bit of a wake up. Oh, it's not good. Any of my sprays, my pinky, pearly pinkies. I always get the name wrong. Pearly winks, and it's not because I can't remember it, it's just that I've got my own language and it doesn't tend to marry up with anybody else's language. Got to give Mark a great deal of thanks for setting all this up and letting me take over the whole living room. So I'm going to use a little bit of everything. I'm going to pick flowers and do them in colours, and then I'm going to do a harmonious sort of feel to this. So I've got to think, right, well, what colours are going where and how and what, blah 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 blah, and then how does it sort of become harmonious? Well, colours sort of feed together, don't they? So I'm looking for light to dark or across a range of colours. So the first thing I'm going to do, let's just go for it. Now, this could denote you're in a calmness or whatever you want to say. I'm not putting those words in your mouth. But what we're going to do is a quick blend. So I'm just going to go straight in with yellow because, and I've got a little bit of orange on it as well because I've not washed my brush. So just done that. I need a paper towel because I'm wiping it on my pants. So put your paper towel there and you'll learn to take the water off. And then pick up a bit of orange, put a bit here and there, maybe a bit more. That's better. Clean your brush, and then with the yellow that's on your brush, just go for it. Clean your brush because the orange will take over and the yellow, and it's still a bit insipid, so I'm going to go right in with the red at the edge just to give it a little bit of impact. And then the magenta, which is that one, I'm going to put there. Now that looks really, I don't like that at all, but once I blend, put the orange back on the top of it. You've got to sort of envisage these sort of things, because it's not instant. It's with time and drying and stuff. So if you're like me and you're a bit impatient, go for it. Now you can see the whole damp circle, can't you? So giving it a waft on the back, and then colour there. I'm going to be doing some filming today. I've got a meeting in a minute. That's quite an orange. That's one of my rusty oranges, which I love. So what I'm going to do is just extend that a little bit out there to the outer circle, because that'll give it a little bit of a bed for the dark red that's going on. So there, clean my brush, go straight in with the yellow, dry it. Lovely. Oh. Right. I've not thoroughly dried that because I don't want to. But what I have done is, you see me dry layer, dry layer, dry layer. So now what you can go in, and I've got my big brush there. I've got my water brushes here. So you choose the brush you want, and then you go for the colours. So what you need to do is think what colour goes where, and why do I want it there, and is there a specific flower that needs to be that colour. And maybe if you choose like layers would help. So anything in a certain radius will be one colour, be another colour in the next radius, or it'll radiate out colours. So pink, it'll be pink, magenta and violet, you know, that way. It's up to you, or it's entirely up to you, but I've chosen, I'm going to bring out the yellow in these. So I'm going to choose yellow, and I'm just going to put them there, because that way the yellow is not just in the middle, because although that's fine if you want it in the middle, but I want it to be an integral part of the whole thing. So now I quite like that. But I'm going to mix it up now, and I'm going to put some greens with it, because green and yellow are harmonious. Now that's quite, so what I'm going to do, just show you, leave that as it is to dry. So I'm using like it's a limey green, and I'm just going to put that on. These are not supposed to be like, oh, she's drawing green flowers. That's not what it's about. But what it's about is anything. It can be a pattern. it happens to resemble a flower, if that makes sense, that I happen to be using green on. I could be using grey, black, brown, any colour on this. I just so happen to be using green. So I'm bringing the harmonious feel out of it now by using this. Now, to get an even more harmonious feel, I'm going to go with a pear, and I'm just going to drop in pear there. Now, pear is yellow and a green together, so you get a sort of family feel with them. It helps to integrate one colour to the other, like that, without overpowering the green or taking the greenness away. There's a little bit too much there. You can just see that we've got the 3 lines, we've got the yellow. So that's harmony. We'll use, if I show you this, harmony of colours, we'll go for 1 yellow, another yellow, and then we can go for orange, and then red. So we can do a harmony like that. But then I can do now. See how that's too bright? So what you need to do is mix that one with that one, and that's how you get your colour harmonies. See, it's now working. So that's what a colour harmony is about, and I'll show you how to mix it and how to use it. And that's in the new one. It's coming in there, it'll be next month now. So I'm looking at these and I'm thinking, right, okay, the next harmonious colour would be perhaps a turquoise to go with those colours, and maybe this turquoise in the other flowers. So we've got another harmonious feel. It's not too harmonious at the moment, I must admit, but that's because there's one here, so I'll put that one in here just to make it, that's better, because it's not finished. So it's only drops of colour. So I've got one big flower there, and then these like turquoisey colours here. Now, these are cold, so in order to make these more harmonious with what I've got here, I'm going to just show you what I'll do. So, dry them. Already it looks more harmonious, but it still looks blue. So I'm going to drop in a colour that I think goes with it. So it's got to be something that we mix. So if we look at the green. Ooh, what's that? Oh, it's paint. So we look at the green, the turquoise, and then a little bit of the lime. We've got now a harmonious green that will go with them. So if you want to put in a bit of a darker shade, we now know that this is harmonious. It's not going to clash with that because it's made up of those colours. You get me? You see, it's not knocking the stuffing out of that one. Just need maybe this one here to do that with, just so we've got a little bit more. And to balance it, I'll just do that one. You can see I'm not taking much care, I'm just creating a harmonious feel. So we need to think again, how are we going to get this to this? So we look at the blues that we use, and then we can go into a blue colour then. So just got the same colour, and I'll just show you what I mean. Maybe a bit more blue. I'll show you, it's really easier once you know your colours, what to do. It's just, you need someone to point you in the right direction and then you're alright. So here, just going to put a harmonious colour, darker. Maybe one here. Now wash your brushes out properly because these brushes hold so much water. So here we're looking at maybe limey colours. So whilst they're still not orange, they've got a touch of green with them as well. So we've got that colour going on. The next we'll have a little bit more of the turquoise just to counteract with that. Only a wash. So turquoise, blue, blue, green. There we go. Plenty of water. It's really difficult to get the same colour twice when you're mixing yourselves. So knowing your colours and knowing what works and creates harmony is your battle done, really. Because you can keep going over with these colours. You don't need to sort of think, right, well, one layer's enough. You can go on and on and on, and then just be as liberal as you want with the colour. You know, the more layers you put on, the darker the depth. So what we need to do now is, I'm seeing a lack of deeper orange in here. See, it's got green on the brush. So that's what I mean about really cleaning your brushes, because it's really important. So I'm just going to pop in a little bit more yellow just to bring that. Just going to get a little bit more water on that. Touch my yellow on. Just to darken that bit there. It's way too orange, so go back in with your yellow. There we go. So I might put every now and again a little bit of colour, and allow the colour, if it's got a green underneath it or a turquoise or a blue, it's fine. I'm layering it and it looks quite nice then, just to show you. See, you've got these lovely layers. So here we've got some hearts. Oh, I'll do that bit there because that's in that centre of that heart. So now we'll look at some hearts. I'm going to put in some light blue. So I'm going from a dark blue because that's got green in it. And that green there, see? So now I'm going to go in with a little bit of dark. So if we just go in with I'm going to go in with a very green one here, just to see what it looks like. Yep, that's nice. So there we go. This all takes time. Once you've done this, it's layer upon layer upon layer. You know, I'm showing you something that takes 5 minutes, but you know, in actual fact, this would take you a lot longer than this because you've got to build up these layers and then add your white pen or whatever pen you want on it. Just showing you what the colours look like when you add harmonious colours together. They all seem to work together. You've got lots of white spaces, and when you've got dealing with white spaces, what you need to do is just put a tiny bit of colour on them, and then they sort of fade into the background. So we've got lots of harmonious colour going on. We've got orange up here, so we need to just balance that. But just show you by putting that a little bit there. That counteracts that. I'll put it down in a minute and show it you. It looks really scruffy, I know, but as you know, see, it's counteracting it now. So on these little bumpy things here, I've got a little bit of orange. I'm just going to put the orange on there. So I'm filling in anywhere I see fit that's got a gap. Layer upon layer. So if we've got this green here, I'm putting in some orange. Give it a bit of colour there. Here, just going to blend in a little bit of orange in the back, and then drop quite a bit of colour in here, and these sequiny things by adding that, and then adding that to the greeny blue I had, and I'll get yet another green. So just taking that off there while I clean that up and put a little bit of that in there. See how it's warming it up now? The one thing is that's overkill with the orange, so you do need to look at it and think, right, okay, I need to tame that down. But you get the drift, you get the idea of the colours that you mix. They all come together, and at the moment it looks pretty scabby, but it will look better. Can you see the colours how they're dried now? How harmonious they are. So that's quite a nice dark green. So let's see what we look like. Oh, that's nice. That's nice green there. I quite want this limey one here to see how bright that is with it. So yeah, I've got an Amazon page. Thank you very much. The Amazon page allows you to see what I sort of used. Now, on the Amazon page, I've either used it, tried it, or got it, read it, or it's in my bookshelf and I've not read it yet. So you'll get, if I've not got it or I've not tried it, then I won't put it on my list, all right? Because I don't think that's fair. And some of the things I have got more, believe you me. So it'll be a work in progress. Can you see how it's all, see that things like this down here, they're overpowering at the moment. But once you sort of water them off, might be a bit late now because this is not watercolour. But once you've done that and then you start with your pen work, honestly, it will look so different. It's just, as you know. Now you could put a bright red in it, but it'll start to look a bit muddy, look. So my advice is I would do that with an orange rather than a red. So if you want to put some, I'll just show you what I mean. Put an orange and a little bit of red. So you see the power, it's more powerful like that. Little dots. So you might want to go leave a circle in the middle because you're creating pattern with, because it's dry now, the blue underneath will stay green or blue, whatever colour it is. And if you do orange like this and then go over the top with blue, you'll create, or green, you'll create even more colours. So, but they'll all go because they're all on your sheet already. But do give them time. They do need time, otherwise you're going to get mud. So you might want to put some turquoisey ones in, like that. So go around and do your turquoisey bits. This is really difficult to do, right, because I'm telling you now to ignore keeping in the lines, and for years we've been told you've got to keep within the lines, you can't do that, you've got to, you know, do this between like, and you're like, what? You're telling me to paint outside lines? Yep, sorry. Paint over colours, create your own colours in it, and you're like, oh, that's everything I shouldn't do. Can you see? But you've got an overall harmonious, bright, but harmonious, at the moment, very untidy. Now here, I'm not liking that, so I'm going to pick up the green again, and I'm just going to add the green just at the top like that. So I'm creating depth, but just on the end of my brush. So this is how you have to go around now. Once you've got your first colour down, it's like having the bed down or the foundation. Then put this on, clean your brush off, and then with what's on your brush, just wiggle, bring it down. And there's another, how I'm saying about layers. So I've got the brightness of the green coming out now. That's overpowering. So you take that and put, you see it, knock it back. Again, I've got the blues overpowering here. So, but what you can do is if way too dark, so you do that. Good. I've got to hear that. I don't want you knocking people out though, when, you know, when in the supermarket, because you're not restricted by lines anymore, Malcolm. So can you see now how I filled it with another green? But look at that now, it's totally overpowered. So what you need to be able to do is just look at it, look at the strength of it, and then think, right, I need to take some off. But there's no, it's not wrong. It's not wrong. It's just how you've worked it at that time. Now, if you feel that it's still too powerful, get your yellow on it. And now it softens it. Or the answer to it is add more colour there, and then it evens it. So here I'm looking at, let's go for harmonious. So the first colour I've interacted with is turquoise. I'm going to go for a greeny limey colour. So what I'm trying to do is bring all the colours that I've used in the background around here, and you'll see it starts to bring it all together. So I've got that limey colour, turquoise, maybe orange and brown together, which I've been using to create that like insipid, it's not insipid actually, it's quite a nice colour, but it's like a greeny rusty colour. Don't like that, so I need a brighter green. That's better. And then a yellow here to just warm that up. Can you see all the colours now in there have now blended? So all the colours that are in the background are now in there. So, you know, the idea would be get my pen, all my colours, and just start loading more colour on and just bring in the colours that I've got there. So, you know, it might only be the inner circle of something. It might be that you want a line around something to give it a shadow. That's cool. I'll show you what I mean. So you've got this, let's pick out this here. So here, I just want to put a halo around that. That's cool. I can do it around others. I can do it around the green ones if I want. You know, add halos around stuff with the colours you've got. Just be mindful, if it's too much, you're going to have to either wipe it down, knock it back, or work. See, this is still too strong, so I need it here, or work over it, add some more to the opposite side. So it looks like I'll power this one up. So just to bring that in line with that. Yeah, that's working better. Get me? Can you see the two now? So I need to make sure that it's a bit darker there. Anything that's on your brush, just fill in the white bits with. So you've not got, that's a bit heavy there, I'm going to take that off. Wash it in. There we go. Now you've got orange and green and all sorts of turquoisey colours. But the matter of the fact is they're all now sort of blended together, quite harmonious. The finishing colours would all be like me with a fine brush, if I wish. I don't have to. So if I wanted to, I could go in and go, oh, if I get some paint on my brush I could. So let's go here. Need a bit more paint. Let's have a look at this bit. Let's see where we can do in this one. So it looks like a 1970s wallpaper with all these like different blends, but that's good. So even in them I've got different tones. It doesn't end there though. It can take hours to do stuff like this properly, where you're going around and building colours up in layers, especially with watercolour, because it's easy to just wash it off. But you can see in there now, I've got like 5 or 6 layers. So I couldn't get them without achieving, I couldn't achieve that without having those layers underneath it. So, you know, please be aware of that. It doesn't just happen. You need to be mindful, patient, and you need to make sure that you don't overthink it. And if you can look at it with your peripheral vision, that's even better, because that means you're not looking at individuals, you're looking at the areas around it as a whole. So you're looking at the whole area and not just this, and you can see lots of things then, like weight. I'm looking at it in the TV, in the monitor there, and I can see I need to put more orange here because that is overpowering it. So that's what I do. So I'm not looking at it, that flower and that flower, I'm looking at the whole image and the weight. You see, that's weighted it down now. So I've got orange here, so it might help if I just put an orange line there. See? Now it looks a lot better than it is, but that's basically what you do. You give it a really good dry. I'll try and do one little tiny bit for you, and then you can do the rest. I'll do this bit up here, a bit easier to do. Right, okay, so I'm only going to do one bit just to show you what I mean, because it'll make more sense. If I don't, it's like, well, yeah, you're saying it, but I don't know what you mean when you say it. Now, you can use your good old Indian ink as well. I've got a drawing pen there. That'd be beautiful to work with. So get all the stuff out that you like to use and go with that. Right, so we'll use this part here just to show you what it's going to look like once you get... No. Oh, I can sort of get it working. So all I'm doing is reaffirming the lines and reaffirming the lines of the colour and not what I drew before. So I'm overdrawing it. Now can you see? So I'm going round not only what I drew before, but the extra patterns in it. So let me see another one I can do to show you. Oh, it'd be too much. Right, here. So I've got that line, and then that line. So I've got 3 lines. And then got my circles there. So I'm just going to go over the circles where they should be. And then I'm just going to do the lines again. I'm going to make them wiggly wobbly, so that they're more visible. Right, so I've done that one a little bit more. I'm going to get my pen. Can you see? So here, let's do this one underneath it. So I've got that pattern there, which was the original one. And as I'm drawing the paint, I'm drawing the layers in the paint. So I'm going to bring you around. You'll be out of focus now. So as I'm drawing the layers, I know you're out of focus, it's because you're right above me, but I just wanted to show you a little bit closer. So here, this one comes here, so I'm going to get my pen. So around here. Right, can you just say? So I'll do another one here just to show you. This one's now come on much better. So here we've got this nice shape here, followed by lots of wobbly lines. So it's dark here, so I'm going to put white lines. No, but what I do need to do when I do white lines is put a black line around it, so it emphasises it even more. So that's not finished yet, I need to let it dry. So here we've got another shape. And this is where make it 3D. Get my other pens, put a gold dot in the middle if I wish. Another dot there. And I'll do this one and then I'll be done. So the next one is this one. That one. And you can see I'm taking note of where the paint lines were so that it's more scratchy and scribbly like that. So here I'm going to just put, you can't really see these, so I'll go with the black a minute. So I'm just colouring this in. See how different they come now? Because you've got pattern over them and around them. So even these now, when you've gone over with your white, you get a distinct difference to them. So if I want to do that, it makes more impact by doing that. And then we've got the last bit there, which to me, let's see, and it needs just 3 little dots maybe on each side. Yeah, I like that. And then what you can do if you want is put the dots in there, but and then here round here you're just going to put anything there you want, your 3 lines or your bubbles. And then, can you see? Right, I'm going to move you back up now. I shouldn't have done that. I should not have done that. Because you're all... So you can see how the impact of just that little bit in relationship to that, you can see the difference, can't you? You know, you can see how going back into your pen, and then you sort of doodling your doodles then. And you know, that shape that was 3 little dots is now very different to what we started with, because you could just see it in the dark, in the light. So that's basically what we've done today. Like I say about the harmonies of colour, it's very different. So it's about mixing those colours to get another colour, but all in the families of colours. So it's pages and pages and pages. It's a couple of hours. It's 15 quid because Etsy put my money up for some reason. I haven't got a clue why. But so it works out at £5 an hour. If you would like to, it's available on Etsy. I've not set the date because it's going to be in April sometime, but I need to make sure my dates and stuff with the Chanda. But yeah, so, you know, this is very addictive because you start to think, right, well, what happens if I put a really big line around it? What would happen if I really defined this? And before you know it, you've got like, you start to look quite African patterns because it's quite tribal. And you don't start like that. Well, you can if you want. But the patterning just takes its own life form, which is brilliant. Almost grows with you. But you do start just sitting for ages thinking, right, well, I like that. And then you can sort of, you know, scribble in the background so that your flowers are more prominent. This looks quite steampunky, so I like that. So I put 3 on there. It looks like all my flowers are now metal. See it? You know, and if you've got a white circle that you don't really like they look a bit crappy then. So what I would do is just bring them back. Get that? Right, I hope you enjoyed that. I love that. I can sit there and do that for hours and hours and hours. So when you know the difference between 1, how you feel and how you sit, you're relaxing, then 2, enjoy that relaxing and sort of allow your body to relax, and then doodle. But harmony in colour it's like harmony in your soul to me. I can't tell you how beneficial it is to me to have this harmonious feel. And if I just show you again some work that I've done and other stuff, like this is a good one. This is a really good one where you get those colours. You'd never think that those colours would come together, but they do. So this is where the harmonious bit comes in when you start to look at oranges and blues look. So that's what harmonious colour is. And when you put them together, you get an amazing effect. So yeah, so I hope you can book onto that. Like I said, it'll be a 2-hour that you can watch whenever you want, however you want, whenever you choose. Pay once. It'll only be available to people who pay without being rude. But if you do wish, I have got a denote page on my website, and I've also got setting up a Patreon. So if you wish to sort of help me out in any way, donate or buy me a coffee or whatever you want to call it, that's brilliant. But in no way am I asking you to pay for any of these. I just want you to enjoy them and relax like I do. So thank you so much. I will see you. Oh, tomorrow I've got a live at 6 o'clock in the Dutch group. So I'll see how I feel about doing a quick live then. But I want you to all try and join me over there. I'll put the name up. Foamtastic, I think it is. And it's 6 o'clock UK time. And I'm doing a tag or a piece of artwork with my range. So hopefully. So thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you can see the difference between finishing it up and just colouring in, you know. But overall, I want you to see the harmony in the colours. You know, take that away. You've got some beautiful harmonies going on there. So, love you, Amelia. I'm going in my room for 5 minutes only because I've got so much to do and I've got a meeting at 2. So I will see you tomorrow.